when we look at the very first place that virgin is used, it's used in chapter 24, verse 43 of Genesis, right? And the two words that's used is Bethula and Alma. Now, Alma is the word that's used in Isaiah 7:14. So those words are used interchangeably. And your argument is a Jewish argument where they're trying to restrict the semantic range of the word Alma to meaning young woman.
Yes.
Okay, that's false. Okay, because Rebecca was an Alma and a Bethula. Twice in the same chapter, virgin is used, and it uses two different Hebrew words, Alma and Bethula. They say, well, Bethula actually means a woman who never had sex before, but that's not really true, because we see in chapter 2 of Joel, the word Bethula is mentioned of women who are not virgins. So what Jewish theology does, it restricts the semantic range to make it seem like it can only mean one thing. But where they get in trouble is when we go to the Septuagint, where we have the Isaiah translated into the Koine Greek by ancient Jewish scribes. And they translate the word Alma as Parthenos, where we get parthenogenesis, is a New Testament theological term, born of a virgin. Well, Matthew, who is a Jew, is using the Septuagint, and Parthenos in Greek means nothing but virgin.
But at the time,
so that means that the earliest interpretation, earliest, most ancient Jewish interpretation that we have of Isaiah 7:14 is that Alma meant she was a virgin, never been with a man before. It's completely restricted to that meaning in the Greek. 2.5 centuries before Jesus was born, this is what the Jewish sages said. So I could give 2 cents what a modern Jew says. Of course he's going to say that, because he has to find a way to eliminate Jesus from being the Messiah. But as I've already told you before, I already know that this child is going to be a sign. He's going to be miraculously born, because Genesis 3:15 says the seed of the woman. Women don't have seed; they have eggs. Men have seed.
Okay, I understand that.
This is literally an argument I could give to you. But what I'm saying is that it has major problems to it, because number one, Isaiah's wife was not a virgin. He already had a son.
Well, according to your definition, she wasn't a virgin.
No, according to the lexical definition.
Well, you're using the Septuagint, the Greek, to translate Hebrew, the Old Testament.
Hang on. I'm going to use holiday. Do you know the holiday lexicon?
No.
Okay, so hang on a second. Let me go back to Isaiah.
GL, I'm wondering why we're discussing this with a Muslim who believe in virgin birth.
I know. I never understood that. Because we already know Isa ibn Maryam of the Quran is like a fictional character. No prophet ever mentioned him. But they could at least have something on their side by saying, hey, Isa was born to a virgin and he fulfilled Isaiah chapter 7:14. But I think what it is that they have so much invested in trying to disprove that Jesus of the New Testament fulfilled these messianic prophecies that, to turn or to renege on it now would be to like lose on that investment. So I'm using Holiday's Hebrew and Aramaic lexicon, right? 2 meanings that the word Alma has. It's Ha'alma, right? Hine Ha'alma, Hara. Okay, this is the Hebrew. The virgin shall conceive, right? It means young woman or a virgin. That's the semantic range. What Jews are trying to tell you is that Alma only means young woman. No, the semantic range is either a young woman or a virgin. Now, what gets them in trouble is when we go to the term Bethulah, which is used of Rachel, right? Both words are used to describe her. And both words have within its semantic range virgin. And she was a virgin and she was a young woman. But as I said, I don't care about that because, like I said, you guys, Muslims who, for some reason, I don't know why you guys try to go to Jews. It's fascinating that Jews, based off of their interpretation of Old Testament messianic prophecies, ended up rejecting their Messiah. And then the Quran itself condemns them for doing that in Surah 61:14. But you guys want to team up with them in their interpretations of scriptures, which, based on their interpretations of those scriptures, they ended up rejecting their Messiah, which means their interpretations have to be wrong. And I have the Quran on my side to back me up on that. But the killer is that you can't say that this is a Christian interpretation, because Matthew believed the same thing about the word Alma that the ancient sages believed, who translated the Isaianic passage as Parthenos. He uses the same word in Matthew. So this isn't a Christian interpretation. This is a ancient Jewish interpretation, the earliest interpretation, as a matter of fact. Jews reject Jesus as the Messiah, and they do so based off of their interpretations of these scriptures, which you guys espouse. You know, it's like, well, the Jews don't. You use them as like a standard for correct interpretation of these passages. Whereas our incorrect interpretation of these passages has caused us to believe that Jesus is the Messiah. Their interpretation of these verses has caused them to reject him as the Messiah. And your Allah, he literally says that he aided those, the Israelites who believed in Jesus as the Messiah against the disbelievers. But you guys are always teaming up with disbelievers, the Jews that disbelieved in him and don't believe he's the Messiah. That fascinates me, because if I were a Muslim, I'd be scared to death to do that, because I would be doing something that Allah never did. If I'm going to side with any Jews, I'm going to side with the Jews that accept him as the Messiah. But from a practical standpoint, you wouldn't be able to do that, because they believe the truth about the Messiah, that he died by crucifixion, he rose again, and he's divine. I mean, that's like a bad position to be in. I literally have to go against my own Quran to be able to develop an argument against Christians who, according to the Quran itself, are the closest to me in love and friendship. That blows me away, man. I don't know how I could be a Muslim and ever team up with a Jew against a Christian, like I see all the time on social media. Because the Christian, according to the Quran, is my closest in love and friendship. My biggest enemy is the Jew and the polytheist.